Yeah, so welcome for the second day, and I think I have to fix my camera a bit. Am I visible? Like a quick check if you're able to see me, and I'm audible as well. A quick check will be great enough. Mhm. I think I'm visible, and a confirmation from my side will be great. Oh, why don't I share my screen as well? So share the screen, share it, and here it is. So if my screen is visible to you, so let me know about that as well. Just to create a query. How much time to start? Like we are about to start. Only audible, not visible. Right now, like my screen. Hey, yeah. Hey, hello. Good evening. No, like so what? No, like my audio or my video, or like I think. Okay, so here it is. Everything is working. Check, check. So we can start. So like today we are basically going to cover the rest of the tags, and I'll also show you a little bit of CSS today. So like yesterday we just covered the basics, and this was the thing that we covered yesterday. And remember what I told you? I will just share a place from where you can look for all the tags and all. So I'll just share that link to you as well, because obviously you're not going to memorize all of the tags. Like obviously it's gonna be so stupid if you're going to do. So just open your code here. So a quick recap, like obviously I don't feel like that you require a recap. By the way, still, like it's the formality that we have to do. So this is our HTML file, and we are basically going to create this file at the very end. So like this is the file which is we are going to share on the internet, and everybody basically can see what we are actually doing here. And inside this is a tag. So like HTML have so many tags. Like this is one of the tag, HTML head, title, body, h1, p, h2. So these are some of the tags that obviously we are going to use to create our website. And each and every tag can have a opening part and the closing. Have this opening and the closing part. So we call them self-closing tags. So we will just cover them as well. So how to use any tag? Just write this arrow brackets. Here we have to write the tag name, and after that we can have a closing tag as well. Again the tag name. Inside of this you can have any text content, any data like this. So this is the data, and combining all this we call it a HTML element. Yep. So this is what we covered yesterday, and today let me just tell you about something more about these tags. And so let me just remove it. So one of the tags that I want to cover today is called the anchor tag. So let me just show it to you. So this is the anchor tag. So it's very special tag, and by using this tag I just want to tell you about something called attributes. So here's with the anchor tag we have here. So what is the purpose of this anchor tag? So anchor tag is actually used for hyperlinking. So what hyperlinking is, I can basically provide a link here, and whenever the user is going to click on this particular link, it will just take them to that particular web page. So let's suppose I'm just going to put a Google here. So Google, and let's have image emoji, let's say SERCH. So this is the Google, and if I'll save it, okay, so we have our Google here. No? So we have Google here. Why don't I just put all of these things side by side, so it will be easier for you to see all this. So this is the Google. No? Now what I want, as soon as a user will click on this particular Google, it is just going to take them to some different page, like altogether, like web page. So that's why we call this A as the anchor tag. So this is actually the name of this A is anchor tag. And here we have to put a attribute. So what is the attribute? So attribute is nothing, it's a way to define some extra features, extra functionality, or it's like a property of a tag. So this is our HTML element. So this whole is our HTML element here. And here, like in the opening part of your tag, like in the opening part of your HTML element, here you can basically mention some attributes. So some of these attributes, like first of all, each and every element will have these attributes. So this H, P, like we have so many elements here, है ना? and each and every element will have a particular attribute. So some of the attributes are common throughout all the HTML elements. Some of the attributes are very specific for some HTML elements. Like for this A, we have a attribute called href. Okay, and here you can basically mention a link for any website. So let me just put a link here. So what, I don't know what is happening with my mouse here. Let me just put a link. Let's http:// www. Oh, why don't I just do a Google? Google.com. So I'll just copy this link from here. Google.com. Let's just open this Google and just copy this link and just paste it here. So this is how it's going to look like at the end. So this is how it is going to look like. So this particular thing is an attribute here. Okay, attribute for your anchor tag, and this whole thing is obviously our HTML element here. And now what is going to happen as soon as you will click on this link? Just give me a second. My laptop is not like staying with me. So like first thing you will see that the style is changed a little bit now. The style is a little bit changed. It's having some sort of underline, and also color is changed as well. But the best part is if I just click on it, so it's just going to take me to the Google. Yes, this is what we call as hyperlinking. So one page is basically connected to some another page. So like that's all. So that's all about the anchor tag we have here. So yeah. So like it's very easy, and let me just show you one more thing, that a element can have more than one element, one attribute. So this is one of the attribute for this anchor tag we have here. Mm, mm, mm. So I don't know what is happening. Let me just do one thing real quick. Sticky key off. Okay. Okay, it's working now. Hmm. Hmm, 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 hmm. Actually, my mouse is not working properly, so that's why if I just scroll it, it goes in direction again and again. So one more attribute you can put here, we call it target. Yeah, in this target, you can basically put these predefined values. So blank, parent, self, and the top. So if I will just put here blank, so what is this blank? So as I told you, like attributes is just a property, some extra features, some, it's just going to define how your HTML element is going to behave. So if I will just put here, let's say target here. So now what is going to happen if I'll just click on this particular thing, the new page, that link is going to open a new page. See? So if I'll just click on this link, so it is just getting open in new page, isn't it? So this, if I'll just click on this, so it's just going to open like again and again new pages and new pages. And if I don't provide anything else, let me just put here, let's say self. If I'll just put here, let's say self. And if I'll just open this, so it is just going to open that particular new page in that exact same page. So in that exact same tab here. So I have to like do a Google back to go back. So this is basically about the attributes, like that's all. Like that's all. And there are some attributes which are basically common. Like ID is one of the attributes that you can give for each and every element. It is just it will be get used in the JavaScript and the CSS. So this is an ID attribute. So you can just write anything in the ID. So we'll come back to this ID in a minute. But right now that we are not going to use this ID tag. But the thing is like by using this anchor, I just wanted to cover the attributes. Now I'm just going to move to the next tag, image. And before that, I just want to ask you if this particular attribute thing is clear to you. It is like, I'm just asking. Good evening. Yeah. No, you cannot add more ref. You can just have a single ref here, no? Not more than one. No, no. You basically have to create multiple attributes for that. Yeah, that's very easy. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cover one more tag here, which is basically which we call it line break. So BR. So BR is specifically a very special tag here. So let's just put this thing here and this thing here, and let's just go here. So here you can see we have paragraph now. So if you just want to have a line break, like if you want to have start this language word from the new line, here I can just put here br. So let me just write here br. So this br is very like special because it is not going to have any closing part. So if I just save it, see, language is started from the new line, and you can use this br tag as many times you want. So I'm just going to use it one more time. Let's just use it here as well. So I'm just going to use it here as well, br, and save it. And whenever you're just going to put this br, it is just going to start from the new line. But if you'll see it, it is not having any closing part. The reason is very straightforward, that br tag does not have any data inside of it, isn't it? So whenever you want to have a data inside of an html element, in that situation you will have to have that particular closing part. So for this anchor, we are having data google, so that is why it is having this closing part. That is the reason it is having this closing part. But in the case of br, obviously it's not going to have any closing part. It's just a line break, so it will just make the thing start from the new line. Let's just remove it. Okay, see, so it's starting from the new line each and every time. It is starting from the new line when I just put it. Okay, similarly we have one more tag here, we call it hr. Okay, so this hr is basically used to create a line. So as you can see, these tags are so easy to work with. So that is why I just told you that we are not going to cover each and every tag here. So this is horizontal line, hr, like obviously horizontal line. So it is used to create a line. So like we have a line here, and again, like this is also not going to have any closing part because obviously line does not have any content inside of it. That's why it just hr. That's all. Yep. So now let's move to the another tag, like which is also a closing tag, and it's called image. So this image tag is used to like put any image. If you want to use any image inside your website, in that case, we are just going to use this one, and it has some attributes. So it is going to have the source, height, and the width. So I don't know why my laptop is so laggy today. Maybe some of the processes happening in the background. So I'll just go through it. If it is going to bother us a lot, so I'll just take a break and I will tell you. Okay, so this is image, and before the image I just want to tell you one thing, that like we are currently using the html5. Right now we are learning about html5. So it is the latest version of the html we have here. Okay, html5 is the latest version we have here. Like in the previous version, if you are using the self closes tag, in that case, if you have to use this backslash at the very end. Yeah, so you have to use this backslash at the very end. But right now you don't use this. No? You don't use this because in the latest version of html, it is just self-explanatory that if you don't have a closing part, that means it's a self-closing tag. So it's some of the benefits of using SEL5. SEL5 in the HTML5 we will also understand about the semantic tags and all. So like we have so many versions of HTML. The latest version is HTML5. Previously we had 4.1, 4.1, like now we are on the 5 year. So in the each version some things changes, but not much. There is no drastic change and all. Small few changes, and also I'll cover all of these things, so don't worry about that. Yep. So what is this image tag? So in this image tag, here we have to basically provide a source. What is the source? Like source is actually the file, like the image that you want to put it here. And like you can have the URL of the image. So why don't we just look for any image online? So I'm just going to look for unsplash.com. So this is a website. Here you can look for any free image you want, and let's just go with this image. So I'm just going to copy the image address. So basically we need to have this image address, and if you just paste this image address here, you're just going to get that particular image. So this is the image, and I'm just going to put that source here. Let's put that source here. Okay, the image address. And the next thing, we want to give this image a height and the width. So let's just go with a height of, let's say, 300, and width, let's just go with, let's say, 500, and save it. So see, we have an image here. So like we are using an image here, isn't it? So it's very easy, just as I told you. So either you can just provide the URL, so this one, and if you want to have the photos and image in the same, like if you don't have the link, so you can just download any image you want. So I'm just going to download this, right click, save image as, and I'm just going to download it in the desktop. So let's just download it. The format is not good here, so I think, so download it free, and it is going to get downloaded. Let me just copy the image to our folder. So show in the folder. So just give me a second. Copy this thing. Now I'm just going to paste this image here. Just give it a second. Okay, so this is the image we have here in the same folder. Now, so I just copy pasted. First of all, I just downloaded that image and I just pasted that image here. So let me just rename this to photo.jpg. So this is the photo that I want to use. So like instead of putting this whole address like URL and all, I can just put backslash and photo.jpg. So it's like easier to do. And like height and width is very important. Like if you don't put any height and width, obviously it won't be able to understand like what is the height and width of your images. So like if I open this thing, so if you see, we are getting our image perfectly fine here. Let me just let do a little bit of zoom out. Yeah, see. So what is this backslash is? So just go over here. If your photo is in the same folder, right, in the same folder, so currently the photo is in the same folder, so just put a dot and a backslash, so you will get all the files and the folder in the exact same folder where you have this index.html, like where you have this file. It is called as relative path. Yeah, we call this thing relative path. So this is the relative path. We have to mention the relative path of your image relatively to this HTML file. So just dot and a backslash. So it will show you all the files in the same folder. And here, if you just press Control and space, so you will get the list of the files. So like obviously in the same, in this particular folder, we have this index.html and photo.jpg. So just save it and just go over here and you have your image. If I don't provide the height and image, so what will happen now? It won't be able to understand like what is the height and the image it want to give. So see, I'm not getting the photo here. It's like it's just going to take up the whole width and all. So see, this is taking so much of uh, okay, so this is the perfect zoom. See, it is not looking so good here. It's taking a lot of space on a website. So that's why always put this height or the image. So height, let's just go with 300 one more time and save it. So now it's gonna have the height of 300 pixels, and width is automatically going to be just like handled here. And now I can just close this and a refresh. Just put this thing here and our page here. Okay, so we have our photo here. So this is the image tag, and now I think we are more than enough comfortable to switch to CSS. So like this is all about tags now. So one more tag I will cover, that list tag and the division tag, and after that we will move to the CSS. Like I think that's more than enough for the HTML part, isn't it? So any doubts in the like in this image anchor or in this h1 h2p? So the thing is now, as soon as we are going to continue with this session, we are going to use many tags and all. So like all the tags are so easy to work with, so they don't have any special complexity and all, so very straightforward to use them, very simple. What is image? Img. So image tag, like this img is a tag which is used to put an image inside our website. So like this p, hr, h1. So this is the image tag. It's a self-closing tag, so it does not have any content. So just use this image here. And one attribute that you have to use inside this image tag is source. So src equals to, here you have to basically mention the source of your photo, like which photo you want to show on your screen. and the height and width. So if you want to mention the width as well, you have to put the width. And one more attribute we have here is called alt. So it's actually the alternative. Let me just use that as well. So for the width, let's just go with 500. And one more attribute we have here called alt. So inside this alt, you can write a message. So like it's an image, and save it. So what is the purpose of this alt tag is, like suppose by mistake the image is not able to load, like whatever could be the reason. If you have basically provided the wrong path, so this is the wrong path, na? foo.jpeg. So this is not a thing inside of a project here. And if I save it, so you will get that alternative text. So whatever you are going to write here, like in this alt, you're going to see it here. So it's like if something happens, like which you never expected, like some because of some reason image is not able to load properly, so it will just show that alternative na. So like it's a good thing to write here, always put an alternative tag there. And by the way, rest of the things are very straightforward and very easy. HR is used to draw a line, horizontal line. Yeah, Prem, it is. Thank you for how many attributes. Okay, so I'm just going to go through a list. So suppose if you want to, so just put your HTML and just type your tags. Just Google like Google HTML tags, and just click here, and you will see that this is the list of all the tags and all. So this is anchor tag. Just click here, and you will get the example of this anchor tag. And if you go down, so these are the list of all the attributes for this anchor. So anchor can have a href, like obviously the download, href length. So this is the language code, media query if you have, ping. Like, and the thing is, you don't want to use all the attributes and all. Like according to your requirements, what you want to your HTML element to behave like. And it's very simple, like you can just go through, like this is the relation. So like it's not mandatory, you can just read what is going to do, but don't worry about that, nobody's going to ask you like what is this and all. So if I'll just go here, we have this body tag. So this is the body tag, they will just give you a description of this. Then we have the br tag. So this is the where is the br now? See, this is the br. And this br tag cannot have any attribute. So see, in this particular page it's showing that no attributes. Event attribute, like the common attributes, the br is not going to have any special attribute here. So let me just tell you two more tags in real quick. So first of all, let me just remove everything from here. uh, let's just remove this image now, it is taking a lot of space. So one tag we have here is called button here. And if you just want to add a button for a website, so let me just put here click me, and I'm just going to have an emoji here and save it. And yeah, just go over here, see, you're having a button here, click me. So this is the button tag, like very straightforward. So just type button, and it is going to have an opening and the closing part, and inside this you can write whatever you want to have on your button. And one more tag we have here is called input. Just type input, yep, and save it. So now I'll have an input field as well. Hello, I am Sanjay. Yeah, we are going to utilize this input field and the button attribute more when we are going to work with the JavaScript. Right now in this particular page, this input tag is not much of use. You can also provide some attributes like type. So this is the attribute of for this input, and the type could be, let's say, number. And now if you can just put a number here, so now this input field can only accept the numbers. So it will have this slider and all. And you can also have, let's say, checkbox. So now it is just going to become a checkbox. You can also, let's say, put here radio button, or and so on and so forth. And let's just go here and let's just look for the input now. Where's the input? Let me just look for it. Input. So this is the input tag. Let's click it, and if you'll just go down here, so these all are the attributes which our input tag can accept. So accept, alt, autocomplete. So if you and you will have the description of what this attribute is going to do. Autofocus, checked, form, and so many. So like this input field basically have so many attributes. Like as I told you, you are not going to use it. So like this is the type, button, checkbox, color, date. So let me just show you these attributes in a minute. Like it's not that important. I'm pretty sure that you can basically go through this website and you can just already just see what are the attributes we have here. So let me just put, let's say, date. So now this input field is just going to get converted into a date picker. So now it's a date picker for you. And you can just use many, let's just create a form real quick now by using this. So I'm just going to create an input field, input, yep, type is going to be text. So if you just want to have an input field with just text, you just put your text here, okay? And let me just put a h1 and form to get, let's say, job, save it. And after this I will have a line here, hr. So we have a line after that, and inside after that, let's there's one tag we call as label. So we will use it afterward. It's not that important. And I can just have here, let's say, placeholder. So placeholder is the thing which is we see now in the background, like dull and dull. Enter your name and save it. See, so this is the placeholder, like the thing that you see here behind. This is the placeholder. So this input tag can have this type placeholder, and let me just copy paste this input tag, and I'm just going to put here, let's say, number. Enter your age, and it is going to be checkbox here, yep. And let's just make it what, let's just go with a date, okay, and pick and dob here, checkbox. Let me just write, say, are you married or something like that. Are you married, and save it. By the way, in checkbox, placeholder does not make any sense, by the way. And after that, I'm just going to create a button here. And for the button, let me just save it. Let's do it and fire, and voila. So we have it. And I just want to have a line break here after this. So I'll just use that br. So we'll have a line break here, and let's just use this br after each and every input. So we'll have a line space after each and every input because they are so close with each other. Whether we are just going to use okay, so now here, starting from new line, we have our dig picker. Enter name Sanjay, what is our age, 23, I'm married. So we can basically have a label here, so we'll do that as well. So like this is a form to get a job, like that's all. So as I told you, like it's very easy. You don't have to basically do a lot of things with the HTMLs and all. So just go through the HTML tags and all, use them. Like it's not that difficult. Yeah, it's very easy. Yeah. So any doubts? Mm, Win plus, what is this you're asking? Can you explain the forms and the tables? Yeah, Shiva, we are going to cover the tables and the forms as well. How many things we can write, how many things we can write over input type? Okay, so if you want to get the list now, so let me just show you the list. So this is the input. Sorry, no? Input. Just click here. And for the type, you can just write this thing, button, checkbox, color. So color is basically used for date, picking up the colors and all. So I'll just cover all of them now. Email, file, hidden, image, month, number, password, radio, range, reset, search, submit, telephone number, text, time, url, week. So like these all are the values. It's very easy, no? Look for the particular tag that you are like, if you want to know more, and just go here And here you will have this attributes part. And inside this attributes part, it will just cover all of these attributes you can just use in this particular case. And obviously it's not possible to look for each and every tag, memorize all of the attributes, memorize all of the particular values that you can write for the attributes and all. So it's not possible to, don't even try to memorize them. Like still I don't know what are the values. Like it's completely depend what you're building and what you want to have. So let me just show you the colors. So if you just want to, if you're curious that what this color is gonna do, just go over here and just put this thing. So I'm just going to have a br tag again. So br input type and just put a color here and see what is going to give it. What is the result you're going to get? So I think so. This is a color picker actually. So if I'll just click it, you will have this particular color picker. So I think, yep, just click here and you will have a color picker here. So this is used to get pick a color now. So this is all basically like and yeah, one thing. And if you want to have, let's say, label or something like that, so in that case you can basically use a tag called label now. So label, label, label. So this label tag is basically used to it is used with any input tag. So I can just write here, let's say, enter your name. Yeah, let me just copy this label tag here and here as well. And you could have also used the paragraph tag, but there is like extra features for this label, so I will just cover that. Enter your age, your name, and let me just copy this whole thing and let's just paste it here and copy this thing, and I'm just going to paste here. What is your date of birth? Like I could have written like when you murder the cake as well, and the favorite color, and save it. So see, now right now I'm having some labels as well. So enter a name, enter an age, are you married, what is your date of birth, favorite color, and all. So like we have just created a form here. So for that we have a special tag form, so we'll cover that as well. But for now, like are you comfortable with this using tags and all? So like instead of this label now, I could have used the paragraph tag as well. So let me just show you what will happen if I just use a paragraph tag. So like first of all, paragraph tag will basically start from a new line. So I'll just tell you why it is starting from the new line in a minute. So this is our next topic. So if you look closely, some of the tags are basically starting from the same line, but some of the tags are starting from the new line. So we'll cover that, like what is going behind the scenes. And like label going to have one more extra functionality here. So one thing, that each and every input field can have a ID. So this ID, basically you can write anything for the ID. So let me just write name here, an ID, let's say age. So you can basically write this ID should be unique. First of all, the ID should be unique, and this ID can be for like each and every element. You can have this ID for this h1 as well. So the real purpose of ID is inside the CSS and in the JavaScript, but also you like it's a good practice to always have a ID here, no? So title, and for let me just put ID here as well. So uh, married. ID could be anything, and inside this label I can just write here for. It's an attribute for the label, na? For the label only it is the attribute, and you can write the ID of the input field for like for it is like what is the. So these two things are coupled now. So what is going to happen if I just go over here and if I just click on this age, so it is just going to focus this input field. So if I'll just click on, so right now we are here now. If I'll just click on this enter age, so it is just going to focus that input field for us. So this is the purpose of label and the input field together. So just use this label, and inside the label just write here for. So for is attribute for the label, and inside the input you have to use this ID. So first of all, ID should be unique. You to mention the ID, you can use the single quote or the double quote. So like here you can use single and double quote. It's not an issue here. So I could have just also gone with the double quotes, but generally I prefer the single quotes because single quotes are a little cleaner. And that's all. So I think that's all about the basics of elements, and you can just go through all of these things. So like now we are going to move to the second part of the session, the semantic tags and block and inline elements. So I'll just cover that in a minute. So I can just close this one. So visit this website, just go through some of the tags and all, create your own form. No, yeah, no element can have the same ID. No element can have same ID. ID should be unique. Like that's why it's the ID, bro. Like obviously, ID should be unique. You cannot have like two things having the same ID. It's like Aadhaar card for any element. Yeah, Faiz, I'm just, sir, ID should be unique. Yeah, yes, sir. Faiz, I'm going for your question. I guess it won't change all the values. Hmm. What is the shortcut you use to change the level to P? Yeah, for that I use the Control D. So if you just want to select multiple elements, just put Control D. So now so these two things are selected. So if I just change it, so both of the tags are going to change. So just Control D, Control D. So by pressing Control D, you can select all the same things. So I can basically change all of them in a single go. Now. Paragraph or like say H2 or H6. So that's the purpose of this, what do you say, the control D. So VS Code has so many shortcuts. Like if I'll just start covering all the VS Code shortcuts, it will basically take up 1 hour, complete 1 hour. Okay, okay. How to implement the Google Web? Sheikh, what you're asking for? Like, are you asking for how to create that thing? So that anchor link. So if you want to use that, if you just want to add a Google in your website, just put it A here, and href, and here like http www.google.com, and here you can basically write let's move to Google and have a search icon here. Save it, and now you'll have this thing on the very top. Let's move to the Google. Click here. So it's just going to open the Google for you. So like hyperlinking. And if you're asking me about like creating that whole searching functionality of the Google, for that you have to basically do a lot of work. We want any license to have the Google website. Like I'm not able to understand what you're asking. But there is actually, but there's usually also a form tag at the beginning. Yeah, Francisco, we have this form tag in the beginning. So always we use this form tag. So whenever you create this form now, form sort of thing, but it's not necessary. It's not necessary to use this form tag every time. So basically you have to wrap all of your this form thing and all inside a form tag. So form, it's not compulsory. Yep, so that's not necessary. If you're using JavaScript and all, you just script it. But for now, just put this thing. So now it is like usually you have to do. It's not going to change a lot here. So it's exactly looking same. It's nothing is changed much here. So like it's not necessary to put. No, it is not a VS Code extension to add the emoji. Just press Windows and the dot key. Window and the dot. So let me just show you it on a screen keyboard. So like window and the dot to open this menu now. So this menu will get opened. So that's the shortcut I'm using for using this to say the emojis and all. Okay, let's jump to the next topic real quick. So now I'm just going to remove each and everything. So we are back to a blank page here. So what I want to tell you next is like we have two kinds of HTML elements. The first kind is called as the block element, and second is called as the inline element. So what is a block element? So if I'll just create here, let's say h4, and if I'll just create like one more h4 here, hello. See, so you can see this hello here, no? And if I'll just create one more h4 just afterwards, like just after this, so hello world, and I will save it. So if you see closely, like it is starting from a new line, isn't it? It is starting from a new line. So like that's why we call these kind of elements which always start from a new line as the block element. Yeah, as the block element, block as the block element. So what is a block element? A element which will always start from a new line, and also it will take up the whole width. So this whole width thing we will see and like in a great depth when we are going to do the CSS. So for now you can take it as like a block element will always start from a new line. Yeah, then what is an inline element? So if I'll just create here, let's say instead of this h4, if I just put here, let's say button, and let me just put here as well button. So right now I'm having two buttons, hello and the world, side by side, and see they are not starting from the new line, they are just basically starting from exactly side by side. So if you just create so many buttons here, so I'm just going to create say hello, but and let's have this input as well. So input is again, I feel like input is input input here, and save it. So input is a block element. No, it is not. So input button, these are the inline, these all are the inline elements. See, they are not starting from the line. They are basically in a same line. And if I just replace, let's say this input, or let's say this button to a h4 or h3, h4, save it. So you'll see that now it is starting from a new line, and it is also pushing this input to the next line. Why? Because it will take up the whole width. So like this h4 is taking up the whole width. So that's why it is a block element. And all the inline element like the input and the button, so these are some of the inline elements we have here. So it is going to play a huge role when we are going to work with the styling part. So it's very important to know about this. But it's very easy, na? It's very easy, not that of rocket science. Save it. So see button, input field, and these sort of elements are basically the inline elements. They will always start from a same line. And this h4 is going to start from a new line, and it will take up the whole width. So it is taking up the whole width. So that is why like no space is remaining for this input element. So that's why it's like moved to, like it's pushed to the next line. And now we have this input and the button here. So you can see they're side by side. Yeah, and if I just replace this h4 with, let's say, span. So span is again an inline element. So see, so now everything will be in the same line. Everything will be in the same line. So that's all. Like it's really, like it's very straightforward, very easy. So that's all about the inline and the block element. So what is a block element? Block element will start from a new line. So first thing, block element, about the block element will start from a new line. From new line. Yeah, don't mind my this writing because as I told you, I'm not an artist, I'm just a developer. And they will acquire the whole width, no? They will have the whole width, they will basically take up the whole width, that's all. And inline, so they will not, they are obviously not going to take up the whole width. They will just take up the space they actually require, and they will basically continue from the same line, so they don't start from the new line at all. So these are inline, that's all. Yeah, we could have used the br to like start from the new line, but I was just covering the inline, and that's all. Yeah, division. So like this span, we have a tag called div tag. So this is one of the most used tag here. So like this div tag. So like div tag is not that special. We use this div tag as a container. So if I'll just show it to you, so here we have a div tag, and if I just put here, let's say hello. So if you see, it is not doing anything, like it's not formatting the text and all, not anything, not much. But we use it to wrap our content. So if I'll just have here, let's say, uh, what you can say, let's say title and partner. So first part, let's say image here. Let's just have a title first of all, h3 h2 h3 and html, and save it. Okay, after that I will have a line here like hr. Then I'll have, let's say, a paragraph. Let's just write some good things about html. And let's, okay, and I will just create an anchor tag as well after this. So let's have an anchor tag. So a, and I'm just going to put a href here, and take resources, and I'm just going to put our books here. And for the resources, I'm just going to share that link. So w3 schools html. I'm just going to paste this link here. Okay, save it. So we have this html now. And now I'm just do the same thing for the css as well. For the css, I just want to do the same thing. Yeah, so I'll just do the same thing for the css as well. So I'll just copy this whole thing, and div tag is a block element. So this div is a block tag, so it will start from a new line. So that is the actual reason we basically use this div a lot. So it is a block element, so it will start from a new line. It is just going to take up the whole width. So instead of this html, let me just put here, let's say css, and let's just write some things about css here. Let us okay. And for the css also, let me just put a link here. So the link is like, I think we just have to change it to css. Save it. Okay, that's great. So like we have created a html file here. So if I just click here, so it is just going to go take you to the html resources, and here it will take you to the css resources. Okay, so like this is how we basically create what do you say, a structure for a website. Now let's move to the next part. The first thing that you can see, it's not looking good enough. Now it's looking really ugly. So how you can make this thing pretty and all? So for that, we are basically going to use css. So css is actually just used for the styling purposes. So the role of this HTML is used to create a skeleton, no? A skeleton for a website. So right now we have like a skeleton for our website, and CSS is actually like a makeup and also like a skin. So how your website is gonna look, colors, fonts, effects, animations, and all. So for that we use CSS. So first step is to use HTML, like, and we have used HTML a lot here. And now let's just move to the CSS real quick. So I'm just going to show you the demo of CSS. So we are, because it's 10 minutes is not more than enough to write the css. And before that, I just want to let you know about that I just got a news that we are actually targeting to have 50,000 employable developers by 2025. What this means now, that by 2025 Let's Upgrade is going to push 50,000 developers, not developers, employable developers. Like, it's very important term, yeah, employable developers. So if you just want to be part of our journey, if you want to be in this 50,000 private developers, just visit our website once now. Just go, visit our website, and here you will find the two courses, a flagship courses. Just click on this start learning, and you will get these two courses: full stack web development program and full stack data science program. So if you want to make your career in the web development, like in the website building, mobile app building, web apps, backend, front end, databases and all. So in that case, you can just go with the web development. Like, job market is really high right now for both of these job fields. Like, these two are the top most required job roles right now. Yeah, so if you just want to make your future secure. And second thing, if you're just a student for a college, school, or even if you're a working professional, and if you're tired of the thing that you're doing right now, and you just want to upskill yourself, so you can just get enrolled into any of these courses. You will get the live classes first of all, and like all the classes will be live. The mode of communication will be like according to you. If you're comfortable in Hindi, so we'll teach you in Hindi. And Like that's all. Like both the courses are, by the way, job ready, so we'll just also ensure that you're going to get a job after you have completed the course. So you can just click here, enroll now. And if you are like, if you're planning to enroll in this course, don't forget to use my coupon code SK10. So SK10, and you will get 10% off. So use this coupon code to get the 10% off. And one more plan we have here is called as and the thing is, we are starting a new batches from 5th of November. So it's a very good time to like join. And you can also get enrolled into a future dev subscription here. So if you just want to upskill yourself, if you just want to learn about DSA, Google Data Science, JavaScript and lot, so you can just get into the future dev subscription. It's just like a Netflix for the developers and all. So it's just a Netflix, and you will get the subscription for 60 days. 60 day in the 60 days you will get 8 skills. Okay, 8 skills. For each and every skill you will get a certificate, and all the classes will be live. I will be there, like for the two skill I will be like for the JavaScript and for the GitHub. So these two skills I'm just going to teach you there, and you will have the certificate for each and every skill. And if you want to learn something else apart from this, you can anytime you can just request us, and we will create a content for you. So it's a really great subscription service we are like looking for. The pricing is just 400, like 399. It's almost 400. So I hope I will see you in the classes and all. So like just have a check out here. Yeah. And I also forgot to tell you about how you can mark your attendance. So let me just yes, please. We have, do we? Yeah, we just have Chaitanya. We just have from H1 to H6 only. Yep, blessing. Div is basically used to hold up the content. It's like a container. Yeah, and let me just tell you how you can mark your attendance. Can you just have you noticed that UI of the YouTube is changed? See, like and dislike button. Let me just like this thing. In my YouTube, you can also see the dislike count. So you can also like go through this, and you can say like this is the C++ video of mine only, and you can see the dislike as well. Like YouTube not disabled, I think, not dislike button, but it's still working for me. So I'm the data for yeah. Say so like nobody dislikes my video. I personally like my video by myself only. Yeah. So in the description, you will get this thing, one link. Just click here. So like marking attendance is very important. So just go over here, and you can join our Telegram and the WhatsApp group to be updated. And here you will see this. So for day 2, just click on this mark attendance. Here you will see this. Just click on this mark attendance. How much you like this session on the scale of 0 to 10? Just select that. So like 10 right now. And if you're interested in that about flagship courses, like 6 months for the full stack program, web dev and the data science, if you're interested, just mark a yes here, and we will take the further things for you. And if you have any suggestion for me for Let's Upgrade, you can give us a suggestion. Right now I don't have suggestion for myself, and I submit your attendance. So that's all. So this is how you can submit your attendance. Like attendance is very important. Otherwise you won't be able to download the certificate. Yep. So now let me just show you about the styling. So this is the web page we have here, and I just want to like make this thing little pretty. Like it's so ugly right now. So just go at the top, like inside this head, and I'm just going to put a style here. So this style is a very important, like a very unique tag. We use this tag to use the CSS. So we are going to cover the CSS in great depth tomorrow, but today I'm just going to show you a demo. So suppose I just want to change the color of all the H1s. Just type here H1. After that, have this curly brackets. So this first part is called the selector. So this is just a selector here. So this is the selector, and here you can mention some CSS properties and all. So like let me just put here, let's say color, and you can change the color here. So let's just go through some of the list of the color. So let's just go with the sea green. So this is the color, and if you see and save it, I think we have used H3. Sorry, not H1, not H3. Okay, see the color is changed, and you can also give it a background color. So let me just give it a background color of let's say this one. So the background color is also changed, And let me just target the division. So for the div, like I'm just targeting the division. Let's have a background color for the division, and I'm just going to have, let's say, the border as well. So border of let's say 4 pixels, solid, and okay. And I'm just going to, let's just create a card here, no? Border radius. So we'll cover that tomorrow. I'm just showing the demo now. So how you can make these things look pretty. Okay, 1 pixels. And I'm just going to remove this background color from here. Okay, much better. And let's just change this color as well. So let's just go with this one. And also let's have a different background color here as well. So it's not looking good enough. Let me just choose some good colors. Like colors are very important. Always choose a good color. So for the colors, let's just go with this one for the background. We will also understand about these colors and all, how these colors works, what is the reason why they behave like this and all. So we'll cover that as well. Okay, and let's have some different color for here as well. So for this, I'll just go with this one. So we will just do like cool sort of styling, and also yeah, we will cover that tomorrow. So for now, I was just showing you the demo how it actually works. I think I have choose the same color for the background and for the text as well. And let's have a margin 10 pixels, and let's have a padding. Okay, like it's more than enough good for now. We will just make this thing more pretty tomorrow. So this is how we basically work with the styling. So we will cover that styling part tomorrow, and we will also learn about something called semantic text. So don't miss the tomorrow session. I'll see you tomorrow. I hope you get to know about something new and inspired you to continue and practice this thing. Like have fun, and I'll just share the resources at the very end of the session. No? Okay, so that's it for today. Bye bye. And I had a really great time with you. Bye bye. Good night.